Probably see the children in the background behind me. They're the Fresh Hope children from the school, and they come from this village and from a lot of the surrounding villages, and they're getting a good education, and it's a Christian education as well, so they're getting educated in obviously things for that are going to fit them for life, but also in things to fit them for heaven. Again, we've had an amazing time of prayer here. Abednego, who's the pastor that's talking behind to the children, he really led a powerful time of evangelism followed by prayer, and again I think this is something that needs to be followed up. There is a pastor in the village, but he's not a trained pastor, and it would be good for Abednego and Pastor Candy to get out here, because they are trained and they're very, very good. I mean, I've just been so impressed while I've been out here with the quality of the training of the pastors that are working Fresh Hope, and also the integrity of the people that we're meeting. They're totally grounded in the Scripture. They love the Word of God. They love
Yesu Kristo wanu ga tsenga tukuma. Yeti byango mbuna. Tsenga taya mapo mawi. Abunya kuma.
Would they tell you say Jesus?
I really came in Sierra Leone during the period of the civil war in Liberia, the last civil war. But it was not actually the war that brought me in Sierra Leone. It was God's leading that I'll come to Sierra Leone, and it was a dream I had, that I saw myself in another place, and eventually I found myself in Sierra Leone just as I had a dream. And that is how I got in Sierra Leone and found myself in Bible school. Whatever I saw in the dream is actually what is happening in my life. Seeing myself in the ministry, attending the Bible school, and deeply involved in missions and other things. So that is how I'm in Sierra Leone. And I believe that God actually sent me here, not because of the war in Liberia, but it was because of his purpose in preaching Jesus to the dying souls.
Okay. Tell us a bit about your church, Abednego, and how that's grown, and you know where you see that going. Your church back in Bo.
The church in Bo, there's a lot of prospects. We numerically we are fast growing, but there is a hindrance to our prospect. That is the worship area. That is where we have a hindrance. But when we talk about evangelism, there are men, there are people, and in fact the church is on fire, but we doesn't have an actual place to worship. This is why we are still struggling with. But the church actually numerically is growing, and spiritually is also growing, because there are testimonies and other things that people bring out to the glory of God.
And would people be healed in the church?
Of course. There are many people being healed, and there are some people that have been delivered in that church. In fact, many people have come with testimonies. Those pregnant women that have been given birth to children about 4 to 5 times, their children will not leave. But at the time they visited the church, a fellowship, and eventually that bondage was cut off and they were delivered. Now they have children. And other testimonies of healing, deliverance has been going on. Even the greatest miracle, that is salvation, there are many who have been saved.
What about Muslim converts? Would you have many former Muslims in the church?
We have Muslims in the church. Actually, they are converted because there are miracles that they see which convict them that it is true of what we are doing. But the thing here is, because they were Islamized, they were told to go back because we doesn't have a place to worship. This is why we are not able to hold them and to train them up. But we are praying and we are asking God to help us, that we have a place of training.